Hello everyone and welcome back to Trade Support 5. Today we are back on the Cardiff City Network route in the Class 150 operated by Transport for Wales. We are at Radyr, at least I think that's how you pronounce it, and we are heading down to Cardiff Central and back to Radyr in one service. So yeah, let's get started. Pretty simple beast to set up. Master key, reverser, brakes to notch 1, unlock the doors. Headlights on, taillights off, instruments and markers on. Oh, there's another 150 coming in. And a cloud of exhaust smoke. Alright, I need to open the windows and also get the safeties on. Alright, so what are our stops for today? We've got Danes Court, Fairwater, Wongron Park, Ninian Park, Cardiff Central, Cardiff Queen Street, Cathays, Llandaff, Radyr, and Radyr. I wonder where this train's going. He's heading to... Oh, he's the Cardiff Bay service. Right. Alright. Right, everyone seems to be alright. Let's prepare for departure. Come on, let me get my seat. Thank you. Alright, GSMR is on. That's the buzzer. Anything else I've forgotten? Crew lights, cap light. Alright, I think we're good to go. Someone in the comments in my last video actually suggested I do notch 3 for a bit, then notch 5, then notch 7. Alright, next up, Danes Court in 1.3 miles. So yeah, we're heading down here, down this line, down to Cardiff Central, then looping all the way back up. This version of the 150, I know it's gotten a lot of flack for its appearance on West Cornwall Local, but this version, with its improved audio, dynamic suspension, guard mode, and modern accoutrements, definitely is a ton better than West Cornwall Local. It's not as good as the Class 153, but I'd definitely say it's a marked improvement over the West Cornwall Local version. Oh goodness. We're clear up to 55. This is actually the longest run that you can do on Cardiff City. It takes, according to the timetable, it takes 36 minutes to complete a full run. I imagine if the Transport for Wales Pacer by Just Trains, when that comes out, if that does the same service, I'm guessing it'll take longer since it's less powerful than the 150. Man, I can't wait for the Transport for Wales Pacer for this route. That's going to be awesome. Why did I just sound the buzzer? I don't know. Oh, whoops. That's what I meant to press. 400 yards to go. Computer seems to be running well today. I almost hit T instead of Y to open the doors. I'm getting too used to Train Simulator Classic and British Railways, man. One thing I have got to say that for this route, all the stations are superbly modeled. Like, each station feels unique and has like unique 3D assets as well. Alright, we're actually here for the next 1.5 minutes, so we might as well try to get some of those collectibles. Collectibles, come here. Where are you, collectibles? Good. Oh, I can contact the signaler via these things? I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. I don't think I've seen that on any other route. Detail. Oh, nice. Got one of those Welsh cake thingies. Yeah, like detail is absolutely superb. Cannot complain about the detail on this route. The distant scenery is a bit basic in places, but other than that, I think this is a pretty nice route. All right, let's get back on and prepare for departure. Is there anything over here I can interact with? Not too much. A couple of days ago, as of recording this video, the external engine audio is actually completely overhauled, and I must say, they did a pretty good job. It sounds much more meaty and less synthesized than the West Cornwall local version now. Like, the West Cornwall local version of this train is so bad that I literally do not drive it, and I drive the Just Trains Pacer in the chocolate and cream livery on that route instead, because at least that version, A, looks nice, B, isn't absolute rubbish. Alright, Fairwater. Alright, we're here for the next minute. I do like the TfW livery, the modern one, but I think I do prefer the old Arriva Trains livery. Which is another reason I'm looking forward to the Pacer. It won't just be in the bog standard Transport for Wales livery. It'll be in Arriva Trains Wales livery, but then with the Arriva decals taken off and Transport for Wales ones put on, as was realistic for a few months during the transition between the two operators. Wow, one Grand Park in 780 yards. One thing I do like also about the diesels on this route is that they have the new diesel smoke effects that that Just Trains did for the Class 101 and the Pacer on Blackpool branches and Preston to Carlisle respectively. Just Trains has also been the pioneer of another ostensibly Dovetail developed feature. The Class 142 Pacer for Blackpool branches was actually the first ever train to have dynamic suspension in TSW. And that, I don't from what I've heard, they weren't supposed to do that. I think Dovetail was supposed to pioneer the use of dynamic suspension, but Just Trains was like, we could do it better, we could do it faster than you can, so they just stuck it on the Pacer, which is very funny, honestly. Ooh. Yeah. I know, like, yeah, like, the distant scenery is a bit basic, and there are some transparent trees, but well, the transparent trees are only if you zoom in, so hopefully that gets patched at some point. But I'm not holding my breath. The Peterborough to Doncaster route has terrible transparent trees that haven't been fixed in a year and a half. In the year and a half of it being on sale, so I'm not holding out hope, honestly. So yeah, after this station, we'll go underneath the Great Western Main Line, and then over to Ninian Park, and then we'll go round this depot, which I Canton Depot, and then into Cardiff Central, Cardiff Queen Street, the branch off, and then go up the line we checked out in the last video. .4 miles to Ninian Park. You can tell the 150 is significantly more powerful than the 153. We are definitely picking up speed quicker. $15 miles, and I know that says LNR, but the reason is I have the West Coast Mainline Enhancement Pack, and that comes with a repaint for the West Cornwall Local 150 into LNWR livery, and then that in that mod timetable, it's then used to do AI services on the St. Albans Abbey branch. But yeah, it's all accolades are now showing up as Class 150 LNR, which is very annoying. That's another 150. Toot the horn. Ooh, this might be one of the better stations we've encountered so far. Goodness, why are my frames so low? 18 frames? My computer's been struggling recently, so no wonder I'm getting such a low frame rate. Alright, we're here for the next 30 seconds. There's the... I think this... Yeah, there it is. There's the Great Western Main Line. I think that's the Great Western Main Line. Yeah, it is. It's supposed to be anyway. I thought I thought in this time period it was supposed the Great Western Main Line was supposed to have overhead wires. So then why does... Oh, okay. I think I know why. I think in 2022 the electrification extended as far as Cardiff Central, but had not been extended beyond Cardiff Central yet. I think in the current time it has been extended further, perhaps to Swansea, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Anyone who's actually familiar with Welsh trains, I'm not too familiar. All right, shut it down. 0.9 miles to Cardiff Central. All right. So that line straight ahead of us heads off to Cogan, whatever it is, and Penarth. We're not going there, we're heading around. Yeah, I can see why I've got such bad frames. Bunch of 153s, bunch of 150s, the odd HST, DRS 66, and an RHTT. I do like the DRS livery. If you could get that gameplay, the Engineering Express gameplay pack on a good sale, then I highly recommend it. I know it doesn't add the two liveries everyone wanted, namely Freightliner and GBRF, but I have heard that Freightliner and GBRF are quite tight-fisted about their licensing. However, we do have Freightliner-branded coaches, container wagons on Preston to Carlisle, so maybe they have the Freightliner license? Who knows? If so, I would love to see a Freightliner Class 86 gameplay pack for like Peterborough to Doncaster or Euston to Milton Keynes. That'd be awesome. Slow down again. "15-mile-an-hour limit is now in force." Is that a 153? Yes, it is. Where's it going? Oh, it's doing the Penarth shuttle. I do love like the little bumps and clicks it makes, as well as the dynamic suspension. The only complaint I have about dynamic suspension is if you just spawn in as a passenger and sit down, or if you're in guard mode, then dynamic suspension doesn't activate for some reason. The train is just... suspension is just stock still, if that happens, which is odd, but... Okay, we are going to be 3.5 minutes early. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, you can now see overhead wires. So I think in this time period, the electrification only extended as far as Cardiff Central. Right, we're here for the next 3 minutes, so we might as well have a bit of a look-see around. Let's open the crew door. I love how the 150 has a separate crew door. It's mainly for the guard panel. Do you work? No, you don't. So that is one weirdly inconsistent thing. At some stations, lifts work. Did you see that? That person was floating until she disappeared. Anyway, at some stations, the lifts work. At some stations, they don't work. And it's just a matter of luck which station you're at. Which is very annoying, because I would like to have working lifts at, oh goodness, all stations. but just doesn't work that way. Ooh, 153 stroke 9. I'm guessing with a stroke 3 on the front. Yeah, a stroke 3 on the front. Where's that going to? It is going to Treherburg. Are there any HSTs knocking about? Okay, there is one. No, it's a 166. I didn't know those layered in. I thought it was just the HSTs. Hello, mate. I have ridden on a 166 in real life, and I must say the engine sounds on the TfW version are pretty much spot on. The horn is a bit meh, though. Am I glad to see you? I didn't realize you layered in. Right, where's he going? Portsmouth Harbour at 11:01. Yeah, nice to see. Nice to see a 166. Thought it was just the HSTs that layered in. Let's see. Is there anything else I can find, like downstairs? No, I can't go that way. No, I don't want to give up control. I've got some time. I can walk around. Oh goodness! Now I see why that NPC was doing that. So I can walk down a little bit. Oh, what was that? That was so weird. Okay, so I can't go that way. There's a lot of detail here. The posters are like really add to the immersion, even if they're unlicensed. Right, let's hop back in and prepare to be off. Shut the guard door. So yeah, we've actually explored the entire Cardiff City network now that we've explored this bit of the line. Pretty cool, eh? Alright. But did I open this window? No, that window is open. Next stop, Cardiff Queen Street in 0.6 miles. I love how this route is non-linear. It really adds to the replayability. Even if the surfaces are a bit short, like the replayability of this route with all of the different branches and the guard mode that you can do, and with two different units to muck up to thrash around. I'd solidly recommend this route on a good sale. 100% I'd recommend this route on a good sale. I don't think anything except like the Just Trains or Trains from Germany stuff is worth full price these days. But yeah, if you do want to get this route, again, I recommend it on a good sale. Oh goodness. On a 2% upward grade to try to cross the Great Western Main Line. Seeing the 166 also reminds me that Dovetail actually managed to get the GWR license removed, which means we could be seeing more GWR content in the future besides the Great Western Express remaster, which I am very excited about, because we do need more GWR stuff in the game. Imagine if we got a GWR Class 800 and Class 802, or like a imagine we got the South Wales coastline from Bristol to Swansea with the Class 800, the Class 802, maybe an HST rail tour or two with the Transport for Wales stock we've already got in the game. That'd actually be pretty cool. A modern South Wales coastline, fully electrified, of course. Right, Cardiff Queen Street. There seem to be quite a few places in Britain with Queen Street stations. Don't know why. Alright, here we go. Arriving a minute early. Now that's what yeah. As long as I don't do what I did last time coming out of Llandaff. Oh my goodness, I find Welsh pronunciation so hard. And um, and run a red signal. Welcome to Cardiff Queen Street, which is the second biggest station on the route, and I think it's my personal favourite because it's busy. You get a ton of trains coming through, like that 153 over there, and it's much better architecturally than Cardiff Central. Now we've got 1 more minute. We've got Cardiff, Llandaff, and Radyr left as the stops of the day. Here goes the 153, I think. Yeah, there he goes. There also seems to be a 150. Oh yeah, you're heading to Cardiff. I think you're heading to Cardiff Bay, aren't you? The Cardiff Bay shuttle. For some reason, the Cardiff Queen Street to Cardiff Bay shuttle service isn't guardable. I don't know why. Maybe because it's just one stop. Right, let's go. Next stop, Cardiff. Cardiff in 0.6 miles. Right. So we should be heading off to the left here. Yeah, there we go. We'll be heading off here. The line going straight goes off to Corton and Heath High Level. There we go. Now that I've done all of the services in this game, I think I can give a verdict on which service I think is my favorite. I think for knocking about in the 153, the Corton to Penarth is probably my favorite because you go down 2 small branch lines and it's a full service. It doesn't get cut off by going out of the map. And then I think the class one for the class 150, I think it's this service, the Radyr to Cardiff Central and back, by doing the big loop. Takes almost 40 minutes, but it's properly worth it. What the? Oh no! Don't tell me this route has light baking issues around this tunnel. Ugh. We've had that in LGV Mediterranee and Köln to Aachen, and we did have it on the Mittenwaldbahn for a while. Ugh, I hate that so much. When your train looks as though it's going into a tunnel when it is in fact broad daylight, that drives me up the wall. Especially on LGV Mediterranee. I don't drive it on that much because it's literally the worst. Because it's literally the worst route in the game. But it still drives me up the wall, which is why I don't play the LGV Mediterranee that much. Alright, let's see. Where's this service going to? Radyr. Alright. Alright, we've got 40 seconds till we have to go. Alright, we're clear up to 70 miles an hour. Next up, Llandaff in 2.5 miles. 2 miles to go. $60 miles an hour. It only took a mile. Alright, it's 55 limit kicking in. Alright, this is the second to last stop before Radyr. Oh goodness, I wasn't paying attention. No! Sorry. I don't do that much. Alright. You are useless, so I will shut you. Whoops-a-daisy. That was a big mistake. I got distracted at the last minute. Next and final stop, Radyr, in 1 mile. Full speed ahead. Why do we have an adverse signal? Oh, nope. Signal's changed. We're good. .7 miles to go. Alright. Good to have AWS going off now. See? .50 limit in force. Alright, There's the line we went down, heading toward Cardiff Central, and the loop is almost complete. That's so cool, how you can loop back on yourself. Not too many routes allow you to do that. The only one I can think of off the top of my head is the Cathcart Circle. Red signal. Well, come back to Radyr. This train will then continue on to I can't even pronounce that. Ugh. Welsh, as an Englishman, Welsh is weird. Welsh is very difficult to pronounce. I'd most likely offend. If I do anything by pronouncing those names, I'd just offend Welsh people and not achieve anything. Platinum medal, let's go. So right, that'll be it for this video, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you all so much for watching.